Music from the B.V.I. Music from the B.V.I.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are here on the beautiful island of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And here is the airport. This is some free rare add-on scenery from flightsim.to for this airport here in Tortola. And we're going to be checking out the island of Tortola today. And today we will be flying the Bonanza G36. And we're gonna make our way over to the island of St. Thomas, U.S.V.I, from the British Virgin Islands to the U.S. Virgin Islands. So that's what we're gonna do today on today's quick flight. All right, so let's go over here, take our nice walk to our aircraft, and get it all prepped for takeoff. You can see it's a beautiful day out here. Airport looks pretty good, pretty well modeled. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove those covers. Remove the pitot cover. Alright, this is where you climb to get on board this aircraft. Go ahead and open the door. And we're ready to go. Alright, so here we are inside of the Beechcraft. Let's go ahead and get it prepared for departure. So let's go ahead and hide the yoke. We're gonna go batteries on, alternators on. It's looking good, sounding good. Alright, let's go avionics on. Unfortunately, we gotta turn it on in this aircraft to get any of displays to come on. Alright, so that looks good. Well, that's all coming on. Make sure look at our tank over here. It's set to, let's go left first. Alright. Get our G. Alright, let's go ahead, go beacon light on. Let's go mixture full rich prop. Forward, and we're gonna go a little bit on the throttle. Alright, let's get her started, make sure nobody's in front of the prop, and get her started. Clear prop, and just like that, she is alive. Very nice. Alright, let's get rolling here in Tortola. So let's go park and brake off. Let's go around this guy. Get head tracking back on. Alright, let's get our taxi going. In the B.V.I, British Virgin Islands. Capital of Road Town. So technically this airport is on a part of Tortola called B.V.I Island, which is an island on the east side of Tortola. So that's where we are right now, on B.V.I Island, which is where the airport is built here in Tortola. I never turned my lights on. So taxi lights are now on, nav light, strobe light. Alright, ATC, let's go tune tower. Let's request takeoff clearance VFR from tower.
Tower Beechcraft Kilo Alpha, India Romeo 1 at runway 07, ready for departure, straight out departure.
Beechcraft Kilo Alpha, India Romeo 1, QNH 1016, departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 07.
Alright, let's acknowledge that.
Cleared for takeoff runway 07 Beechcraft, India Romeo 1.
Alright, cleared for takeoff here in Tortola. Let's go ahead and get rolling. Full throttle. Break off. And let's go flying. Alright. Today. Let's go. Let it gear up. Positive rate. And look at that. Beautiful Tortola. The beaches here are absolutely gorgeous. Like, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Alright, let's go ahead and make a left turn. Scoop flaps coming up. Watch that bank angle. We're coming back over the island. Looking good. See a boat down there, a few boats. Good. Let's go ahead and decrease that a bit. And we're gonna head over to the area of Roadtown in Tortola. Fly over to island's capital of Roadtown. The beaches here are just amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. So like I said, we just took off from the international airport here in Tortola on B.V.I Island, and now we are gonna be flying over the capital area of Roadtown on our way to St. Thomas here in our Beechcraft.
Beechcraft India Romeo 1, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Tower Beechcraft Kilo Alpha, India Romeo 1, frequency change. Center Beechcraft Kilo Alpha, India Romeo 1 is type Beechcraft
here we are,
B36,
flying over
1 miles east of
Roadtown
Tango
in
India
Tortola.
Oscar 2 Echo, 1,700 feet. Request flight following.
Absolutely.
Beechcraft Kilo Alpha, India Romeo 1 Center, Squawk 0175.
Making our way to St. Thomas.
Beechcraft India Romeo 1, did you copy?
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Squawk 0175 Beechcraft India Romeo 1.
Let's go altitude.
Beechcraft India Romeo 1 radar contact 2 miles west of Tango India Oscar 2 Echo, 1,800 feet QNH 1016. Roger Beechcraft India Romeo 1.
See water down below us. Absolutely gorgeous. We're leaving the island of Tortola, heading to St. Thomas. If you ever get a chance to go to the Virgin Islands, please do it, especially Tortola. If you get a chance to go to the British Virgin Islands, definitely do it. The beaches there are just amazing. The people are amazing. Just a fun place to be. Just like that, we're island hopping in the Beechcraft. As you can see here, we're approaching the island of St. Thomas, and we are going to be landing at the Cyril King Airport in St. Thomas. That's where we're heading right now. Again, this is the U.S. Virgin Islands. We left the British Virgin Islands, and now we are here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I believe that might be the airport over there to our left that we are about to fly parallel of. Let's go ahead and start prepping for descent. descent here. Alright. Throttles.
Center Care 157 is at 700 feet, climbing FL Tree 40.
Care 157 Center QNH 1016 radar. Contact continue to Charlie Oscar Yankee. St. Thomas Tower Beechcraft Kilo Alpha India Romeo 1 is 3 miles northwest, 2,000 feet, with uniform to land.
Beechcraft Kilo Alpha India Romeo 1 St. Thomas Tower. QNH 1016 fly straight in runway 10.
Alright.
Fly straight in runway 10 Beechcraft India Romeo 1.
Let's go ahead and down the speed. Start our descent here. Airspeed, and let's go ahead and start making our left turn here. Basically a base turn, put us on short final or long final for runway 10, runway 10. Alright, we're in flap range. Let's go ahead and put in flaps, alright. And that's our base turn here. Stay about 1,000 feet right now. Alright, let's start turning to final.
Beechcraft India Romeo 1, wind 1 tree, 4 at 1 tree. Clear to land, runway 10.
Alright, there's our landing clearance. Let's acknowledge that.
Clear to land runway 10 Beechcraft India Romeo 1.
Alright, let's go second notch of flaps coming in. Let's go gear down.
Beechcraft India Romeo 1, turn next taxiway.
We are here on the ground in St. Thomas. Welcome to St. Thomas, U.S.V.I. U.S. Virgin Islands, baby. Let's try to turn off over here. I feel like my
Beechcraft India Romeo 1, contact ground on 121. Niner.
aircraft. Let's go ahead and contact ground.
121. Niner for Beechcraft India Romeo 1.
Let's tune ground and let's request parking. Request taxi to. Let's go to the gates because I see a nice.
St. Thomas, ground Beechcraft Kilo Alpha India Romeo
flight
1
over
taxi
there.
to the
Check
gate.
out.
Beechcraft Kilo Alpha India Romeo 1 taxi to gate 1 tree using taxiway Charlie.
Yes, sir. All right. Acknowledge that.
Taxiing to gate 1 tree via taxiway Charlie Beechcraft India Romeo 1.
All right, let's go to that gate. As you can see, the JetBlue, most likely an A320 over there, here in St. Thomas. Parked at the gate. We're gonna go park at a different gate. Got the ground crew over there with their belt loader. Of course, this JetBlue flight is the only flight in St. Thomas right now. Bring her in. And well, everybody, welcome to St. Thomas. All right, right here. Parking brake set, and let's shut her off. Alright, this is what the airport that's modeled here, the freeware FlightSim.to airport looks like in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'll post the links to both airports in the description, but it's pretty nice, very well modeled. Especially for freeware. This is the same guy that made the St. Lucia sceneries that I checked out in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that, you can get that checked out. And yeah, this is St. Thomas. This is the airport here. So let's go walk around over there. Alright everyone, that's where we're going to leave it for today. This is St. Thomas in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Hope you liked the video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel.